What is going on, SoFi fans? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Pretty exciting day for SoFi, up 6.69%. I want to give you a good breakdown of the data points and why it is on the verge of a very nice breakout. So I'm going to go over all that. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So like I said, 6.69% in the green, after hours down a little bit, but still generally, things are looking fairly good. More so as well on the technicals. So on the technicals, it is still lower percentile of the Bollinger Band. Didn't really have enough to get fully into the higher percentile today. And as well, based on the high of $5.34, it did bounce off of this. So this S3. And like I've said in the past, surprisingly, based on the fib levels, looking of course at the 1-day chart version, it is below the S3. So it is completely in a massive discount, just way oversold. That's just my own opinion, not a financial advisor of course, but like I've said and alluded to in previous videos, I do feel that once there is confirmation, the fact that the debt ceiling is no longer a problem and that it does get obviously extended and so forth, or raised potentially, then this is where in reality you're going to see a very big bump up in the stock price for SoFi, because behind the scenes there's been a lot of different fears associated from the recent Q1 earnings. I, on the other hand, do feel that it's all very much mitigated risk, so technically it's not the same level as a lot of the regional banks, but still, when it comes down to Wall Street, they like to group SoFi in with regional banks, as what I think even Jim Cramer recently did as well. So a lot of this just compiled together caused SoFi to go well below even what it should be. So again, like I've said in previous videos, this might be a very good opportunity to increase and add to your position for a very long-term benefit, because SoFi, based on any of their earnings, have shown huge amount of growth. But of course, like I said, that's just my own thoughts on that. So technicals are looking very much primed and ready. So it is basically very pent up below two very big resistance points. And if they do continue this momentum, which obviously I think everything is pointing to that it is going to continue, then this is where you're going to see a very nice breakout. So of course, I think this is also why you do see, for instance, a lot of big buying that has been happening over, for instance, today. So again, that might be a good indication. I know some retail investors do like to follow what big money is doing, and it does look like they have been buying. And a lot of this is actually well over even ask. So a lot of people are very much anticipating and excited about getting in. And as far as options activity, this is where things were starting to look fairly optimistic at the very beginning. $3.32 million in call premiums versus $4.32 million in puts. And the puts were mostly done during the middle of the day. So of course, though, as I've mentioned, options activity does not necessarily move the stock price. It is just merely a sentiment. As of late, there was no recent SEC filings. As far as press releases, there was this that did come out saying that SoFi is going to be participating in a lot of upcoming conferences. Most recently, it looks like on May the 24th, so in a couple days, the JP Morgan Technology, Media, and Communications Conference. So that one's a pretty big one. I think this is something they've participated in the past. There's also Piper Sandler FinTech Conference. That is on June the 7th. And then on June the 12th, there is Morgan Stanley US Financials Payments and CRE Conference. And that one, they definitely have done that. And it does look like a lot of these do have a fireside chat. And you know Anthony, on how he acts in those fireside chats, usually does unveil a little bit more of an Easter egg or a potential big catalyst as a result. So definitely that might be something big coming down the pipeline. But other than this, there has been no news or anything. So it is just merely following the technicals and the broader market. So once again, let me know you guys' thoughts on SoFi in the comments below. Do you believe that it is going to break out into higher and potentially see the sixes very soon? Or do you think it's just going to bounce off of this very heavy resistance and trend down? What is your take on that in the comments below? And also on a side note, give yourself a shout out as well if you have been buying, selling, holding, what you have been doing with SoFi behind the scenes, and especially if you did catch in at the $4.45 mark around here. I think that was a low when the analyst did give a downgrade. I think it was from Piper Sandler if I remember correctly. But still, give yourself a shout out. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's make a lot of money on SoFi.